Welcome to our presentation on Confucianism and Taoism relating to gender inequalities. The people that were involved in this presentation are Brittany Iniguez, Yaida Coolhall, and Jacob Satterfield. Moving forward, this is our table of contents. So the first thing we will discuss in our presentation is the history of gender inequalities. After discussing the history of gender inequalities, we will move on to discuss gender issues in religion, and then global and local gender inequalities. After talking about global and local gender inequalities, we will move on to discuss an organization combating gender inequalities in Tampa. After talking about the organization, we will move on to talk about Confucianism and Taoist solutions. And then later on, we will talk about the Sustainable Development Goals and the certain goal we focused on in our presentation. After we are done with our presentation, we will do a class engagement. To start off our presentation, we will be discussing the history of gender inequalities. One might wonder, what is the definition of gender inequalities? Gender inequality is when one sex or gender is consistently privileged or prioritized over another due to discrimination based on sex or gender. Gender disparity has an impact on everyone, including women, children, and families. It affects people of all ages in areas of life. Husbands can legally prevent their wives from working in 18 countries. Daughters and sons do not have equal inheritance rights in 39 nations, and 49 countries lack laws protecting women from domestic violence. This statistic is significant because it demonstrates to us viewers that women still do not have the same opportunities as males and protection rights. Additionally, only 42% of married or in-union women have the freedom to choose their own sexual interactions, contraceptive use, and health care. Additionally, women only own 13% of agricultural land in the world. Around the world, 750 million women and girls are married before they even turn 18 years old. And at least 200 million women and girls in 30 countries have been subjected to female genital mutilation. These statistics show us that there is a current issue with gender inequalities around the world that needs to be addressed and fixed. Moving forward to gender issues in religion. The first religion we are going to talk about is Confucianism. Confucianism is a religious philosophy with a long history in Chinese culture. As Chinese literature grew, Confucianism became more popular in Eastern Asian countries. There are 5 relationships in Confucianism that define Confucianist expectations of certain persons. The first one is ruler-subject. The second one is father-son. The third one is husband-wife. The fourth one is elder brother, younger brother. And lastly, the fifth one is friend-friend. Mercy, social order, and fulfillment of obligations are 3 fundamental qualities in Confucianism. In addition to these 5 established connections, women are exclusively defined in husband-wife partnerships, as indicated in the 5 relationships that create Confucianist cultures, which is an accurate picture of what women are expected in Confucianist traditions. Moving forward to Taoism, which is also known as Taoism, is a religion that originated in China. Taoists seek spiritual harmony in the universe, allowing nature and all living things to coexist peacefully. Taoist is divided into 3 main concepts. The first concept is the continuity between nature and human beings, or the interaction between the world and human society. The second one is the rhythm of constant flux and transformation in the universe and the return or reversion of all things to the Tao from which they emerged. And the third one is the worship of ancestors, the cult of heaven, and the divine nature of the sovereign. Taoism is a religion that treats everyone equally, regardless of their gender identification. The yin-yang symbol for Taoism is an example of the masculine and the feminine energy living in harmony. Moving on to global and local gender inequalities. In China, women accounted for 30% of leadership positions. Additionally, the average period for education received in rural areas is 7.3 years for girls compared to 8.1 years for boys. Women made up only 1/4 of the National People's Congress membership. China is working hard to improve its legal system to protecting women's rights and interests, formulating and implementing new programs for women's development, increasing financial input, and strengthening social awareness in order to promote gender equality in women's development. Moving on to America, in 2009, only 24% of women were CEOs in the U.S. and earned 74.5% as much as male CEOs. Women represented 43.2% of the professional, scientific, and technical service sectors and 8.9% of the construction sector. America is also aware that there are improvements that need to be made to be more inclusive towards women. There are numerous organizations like the Athena Society that is trying to promote women's equality. Moving forward, a Tampa organization that we focused on was the Athena Society. The Athena Society strives to enhance women's status through equality, more acceptance of women in business, professions, and other positions of responsibilities, and better educational and job opportunities. The Athena Society works to improve women's standing by promoting equality, acceptance, education, and opportunity. The Athena Society is a Tampa, Florida-based organization that was founded in 1976 to support the Equal Rights Amendment. The Equal Rights Amendment is a proposed amendment to the United States Constitution that would ensure that all American citizens, regardless of gender, have equal rights. Its supporters claim that it would eliminate legal inequalities between men and women in divorce, property, employment, and other areas. The Athena Society presents the Phyllis P. Marshall Grant every year to help Hillsborough County women advance in their careers. The Phyllis P. Marshall Grant assists women in achieving their educational aspirations by providing financial assistance. Moving forward, a Tampa organization that we focused on was the Athena Society. The Athena Society strives to enhance women's status through equality, more acceptance of women in business, professions, and other positions of responsibilities, and better educational and job opportunities. The Athena Society works to improve women's standing by promoting equality, acceptance, education, and opportunity. The Athena Society is a Tampa, Florida-based organization that was founded in 1976 to support the Equal Rights Amendment. The Equal Rights Amendment is a proposed amendment to the United States Constitution that would ensure that all American citizens, regardless of gender, have equal rights. Its supporters claim that it would eliminate legal inequalities between men and women in divorce, property, employment, and other areas. The Athena Society presents the Phyllis P. Marshall Grant every year to help Hillsborough County women advance in their careers. The Phyllis P. Marshall Grant assists women in achieving their educational aspirations by providing financial assistance. Moving on to Confucianist and Taoist solutions. To start off, Confucianism opposes the concept of gender equality in society. In this system, each gender is assigned a societal expectation or role that they must fulfill in their daily lives. The relationship between the ruler and the ruled, between the parent and the son, between husband and wife, between brother and brother, and between relatives and friends is referred to as the 5 relationships in Confucianism. It may be utilized to guide peaceful interpersonal and societal relationships inside the family. The 5 major relationships in this religion give an excellent depiction of the roles that women are required to play. Women are supposed to prioritize being a partner to their husbands, bearing children for them, and caring for their children. These responsibilities are geared around family matters, implying that women are not expected to behave outside of the house. However, one of the 5 relationships that could potentially help Confucianists become more gender equal is the concept of Ren. Ren is the fundamental human ability for compassion, encompasses all moral and gender leadership and behavior ideals, and is relevant to social connections. In the Analects, Confucius wanted people to treat others with compassion, humanity, and friendliness. Moving on to Taoism, when it comes to social expectations from its adherents, Taoism takes a gender-neutral stance. Women are permitted to become educators and to participate in society in ways other than home. Although this tradition takes a gender-neutral approach, femininity and masculinity are still key aspects in achieving harmony as symbolized by the yin-yang symbol. Moving forward to the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. The United Nations Sustainable Development Goals are a set of 17 worldwide goals aimed at achieving a more equal standard of living by 2030. Gender equality is the project's 6th aim. The main purpose of this goal is to eliminate all forms of discrimination against women in the world. Gender equality is one of the main objectives in this presentation. Furthermore, the gender equality goal strives to give women from all around the world an equal opportunity in life, since patriarchal societies caused many disparities among women and men in many aspects of life. Within this aim, there are 5 priority targets. The first priority target is gender-based violence, including domestic violence, is mitigated and reduced. The second one is social protection and economic stimulus packages serve women and girls. And the third one is people support and practice equal sharing of care work. The fourth one is women and girls lead and participate in COVID-19 response planning and decision making. The fifth one is data and coordination mechanisms, including gender perspectives.